Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2, The Shadow and the Blade, where we are very much in over our heads. There's so much stuff happening. We are being attacked from so many angles in so many different ways, but guess who found the bright side? Look at me, look at my face, look at the smile I have on my... You can't see it, but imagine a person with a smile on their face. Check this out, I found an upside. These forest settlements are actually pretty cool. They generate food. The core building, if you get it leveled up, generates up to 3 food, and I assume we would get that from each of these settlements. So hey, that's a cool thing, right? Listen, I'm trying so hard to find some kind of upside to the situation we're in right now. You want to see something that's like real depressing? Look at all the little red cross swords. Look at that. We're at war with everybody. Everybody everywhere around us. It's truly horrible. And like the only people nearby that we can make friends with are Ernest Saltspite, who, like... I mean, listen, I'm not trying to say she's not a good friend, but I am saying she has one settlement. And, like, Clan Moors, who is also Skaven and theoretically should be sensitive to some of our concerns, is best friends with a bunch of dwarves who hate me, and now this is gonna get even worse. Look at how much best friends they are. 421... They have a long history of fighting orcs together, which is not the way that's supposed to go. So, my point is, the long-term viability of our position is somewhat suspect, and I don't really have a good plan for how to fix it. We're just going to keep on keeping on here, sort of one video at a time, as we desperately try to carve out some kind of survivable position. So I'm going to have Remamute put down the rebels right now, and then turn around and head back north. We could here do that thing that we sometimes do, where we let the rebel army build up a little bit, but I'm concerned that if I don't move north and put pressure on the border princes, Ernest is going to get killed, and then they're just going to wall up, and I'd really love to figure out a way to get them to decide that it's cool to take a peace declaration. Actually, you know what Remamute's going to do? He's going to kill Myrmidon, or he's going to kill this army, and then he's going to turn around and go fight stuff over here. Yeah, that probably makes sense. So let's just knock these guys out real fast. This should be like the easiest auto-resolve we've seen in quite some time. I can't believe we lost 69 units. How does that even happen? Okay, got an obsidian trinket, which is like very whatever. Not a piece of gear I actually care about. You are getting remarkably close to having the arcane conduit, which I feel very strongly about. This summons a unit of storm vermin in a big explosion. That seems like a thing that we obviously want. You know how Remamute feels about storm vermin. And then, yeah, we're going to Xerxil. Can we do something about the public order problems? I'm gonna not save population to level up Zvorak right away. Well, maybe it would be a good idea to do that. I'm just thinking, like, we sure do need to get the wall up around Zvorak if we want to have any chance of holding on to it. And I think we do. But if I don't put up the population of Myrmidons quickly and then build a bell there, we're going to have a really hard time just holding on to Myrmidons. Yeah. It'll be alright. Remamute will be in the area for a while. We'll be able to manage Zvorak. Erat probably should just keep damaging Karl Franz's units. Well, that's embarrassing. Let's finish getting elusive here. So what does his army look like right now? They're pretty wounded. Another successful assault would have been really nice here. As it is, I'm not 100% sure that he succeeds if he tries to take Grünberg from us. Like, Grünberg's garrison might actually be able to repel them. But we have other problems in the area. It's not like that one battle is all we have to worry about. Morlock is going to finish recruiting most of his units next turn. Oh, and there are exactly 2 spots left in the local recruitment pool. That's actually really nice. So, obviously we want to recruit some stuff that's only going to take 1 turn to recruit. Is it just clan rats? It might just be clan rats. We have enough ranged already. Yeah, I think it's probably just like clan rats with spears and shields. Okay, so that army will fill up next turn, and we definitely have enough movement to hit Grünberg. So, Karl Franz is on the clock. He better come up with some kind of plan real fast here. And here, we must decide what to do about the plague. You can see the Wood Elves are trying to rebuild the army that we've shattered. And they're going to be moving on this pretty soon. So, part of me wants to go and drop a plague in the Oak of Ages, but obviously we know how this works. If I plague a settlement here, it's definitely going to jump to my armies without affecting any of the Wood Elves in the area at all. I think maybe I just have him sit for one more turn. We'll keep an eye on what's happening, but I think once the army in the Waterfall Palace has built up a little bit more, I think we're going to drop the plague up there. So you're good for now. Down here we have Upside, who could run over and try to kill this wizard. Yeah, give it a shot. Gotta learn to stab people sometimes. Sometimes? Sometime. At some point, you must learn to stab. Also, we've got to have followers for you. Yeah, what is this? What is going on here? I haven't even equipped the right people on you. Also, take a bell polisher, I guess. Not that we need even more hero, or even more hero capacity. And do we want to steal the pet wolf rat away from Arat? I mean, Arat is very, very good at his job already. He probably doesn't need it as much. Yeah, I'm gonna take it. Arat is so much better at getting the thing done, and successful hero actions, I think, are more likely to yield followers, so Arat's more likely to find another one than Upside would be. Okay, so Remamute did his thing. Let's just jump through the armies one by one here. Icket Claw. Icket Claw probably doesn't want to go up to Gorsel because we know there's a full-sized elf army at Gorsel. We just need to be... We need to have a plan. Oh, Grungzint. Sorry, this is what Icket Claw does. He goes and takes Grungzint easily. Obviously, this should be mine. And then next turn we can run back to here because that's when catapults will be recruitable again. We can fix up his army a little bit. Good to have the rest of this place under control. I'm gonna put us on the public order commandment because we really need this. We really need there not to be a rebellion at Blackstone Post. I don't have time to go put down a rebellion at Blackstone Post. We're very busy. You know what? Yeah, upgrade Grungzint. This place is going to need walls pretty soon. Wood Elves are too nearby. And then actually, it probably, after we're done checking out our people, it probably behooves us to go through all of our settlements. Our public order values are going to have changed quite a bit because we've done a bunch of things to increase Skaven corruption everywhere. So we're going to have to make sure that everything's actually okay. Alright, I bet the Oak of Ages produces a ton of food. So Findle's army is terrifying. And the Oak itself has a garrison that... Okay, 3 units of Wild Riders, Glade Riders, which are very fast-moving missile cavalry. Hagbane tips means poison. They have poison arrows. This is actually kind of a terrifying army. So it's a terrifying garrison with a terrifying army backing it up. And we have Bilefitch Stab. What do we do? Can't recruit things very quickly at all. Yeah, this is tricky. Is there any chance, would these guys consider peace? No. The stomping that we've given them, where we've killed all of their armies in the area. We've killed all of their armies in our lands. Apparently not enough to convince them that the war is a bad idea. Which is a shame, because the war is a bad idea for them. If only we could get them to see that. We could try to move around to, like, threaten Val's Anvil or something. Try to draw Findle out of the Oak. If I put both of my armies in ambush stance outside of Kingsglade, I wonder if Findle could be lured out. I imagine base ambush chances are pretty good in this terrain, probably. It's weird that I'm not getting... That information's supposed to be on that tooltip. Master Engineer. There we go. Ambush success chance 75%. I think the problem was I was mousing over a bit of terrain that's not actually pathable. Yeah, base ambush success chances are pretty good, and then we're pretty specialized for it. Let's try it. Let's spend one turn trying it. Of course, like I mentioned before, being outside of friendly settlements in Athaloran, not great for your health. But if we can get Findel to come out, then we can probably, with the two armies together, we can probably take the Oak. And then we can start figuring out all the rest of this stuff. Remamute moved, Morlock is in recruitment, Rotich, okay. And Pestilich is back in 3. Alright, let's go look at our provinces real quick. Axbite Pass is, right, not a real settlement. Over here we are -4 public order per turn. You know, we can probably afford to go to the public order commandment in a lot of these places. Growth is great and everything, but we actually don't have the money in a lot of these spots to be able to build stuff up anyway. I would really love to finish building these docks, but that's 12,000 gold. Okay, we're negative here. And see, like, in some places, I have the growth commandment on even though we've hit population max. It's just an issue of me not paying enough attention. Public order, probably a good idea here, even though I do want to finish maxing out Couronne, because obviously a rebellion there would be very inconvenient for us. I would love to be generating food here. But I also certainly cannot afford to turn off taxation. So here in the Forest of Arden, we have taxation off and we're just barely holding on. Switch over to public order generation, and we can probably... We need to have taxation on everywhere that we can afford to have taxation on. Not really any two ways about that. Here we definitely have to go to plus public order, but we also have to turn off taxation because that's... Man, why is that so bad? We're taking -2 from this character. Okay, that's a real crying shame. Here we are barely holding steady. Oh, and we're just about done with growth, so no reason not to switch to public order there. In the Northern Grey Mountains, things are all screwed up because we did a violence. Whatever, it's fine. We'll have to see what that value looks like once the thing wears off. Here we can continue to be in food mode. We have the landmarks generating a silly amount of bonus public order. Here in Carrick Norn, we still have problems. Those problems need to be fixed with a bell. Talsin obviously is all screwed up. We'll worry about that later. Tilia's holding. Okay. Whoa. A gentle, like a single movement of the scroll wheel gives you so much motion on this list. Let's go ahead and switch you over to public order, although my suspicion is it's not going to matter here because we're probably going to lose this whole province in very short order. Here in Paravon, things suck and they're not going to get any better. Well, I guess turn off taxation for the moment. And in the Wasteland, things are grim. Yeah, see, fixing our public order has put us in a real bad place income-wise, and it's actually going to be a lot worse very, very soon. We cannot afford to have that much taxation off. Alright, it's going to be a big problem. We're going to have to win some battles and float on cash from victories for a while. Let's hope that the trap we laid for Findel actually works. Also, let's hope that we're actually able to win the battle against Findel, which is not, I think, a guarantee. Even if he does fall into the ambush and we're able to bring 37 units or something against his 20, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Alright, very annoying that my allies are attacking and then not actually taking over enemy settlements. Really need you guys to play better. This is the downside of the AI being bad, is that my friendly AI is also bad. Look out, Charles Jennings! Oh god, Thorgrim Grudgebearer. That's a big, mean-looking army, and he sure is headed in the direction of my territory. Okay, good news. Bilefitch Stab's army failed their ambush, and so Findel saw them standing there looking all weak and was like, well, we can certainly pounce on those guys, and then he wandered into the ambush. So, We also have Vlamik of Cripple Peak showing up with his terrible, terrible garrison army. Here's the thing. I'm looking at this this balance of power, and I'm thinking that actually it might represent a better result than we're going to get manually. Here we might take what I refer to as a tactical auto-resolve, because I suspect that I'm going to see a pretty bad result playing this out manually, and we really need a good result right now. We're going to quick save, just in case this kills us for some reason. I reserve the right not to accept the auto-resolve result. We can go back and play it manually, but I think that's going to end up being the right play. Yeah, that's a way better result than we were going to get manually. Apparently, every time we auto-resolve, one unit of highly leveled Night Runners is going to die. That's the price that we pay, but I'll take it. Now, unfortunately, as far as I'm aware, this Eat Captives replenishment boost only replenishes the main army in the battle, so definitely not worth doing here. I think we just take the food. Okay, we are absolutely dropping a plague in the Great Halls of Findal, or the Crag Halls of Findal next turn. Both of those armies moving in. Also, do we want to manual this and attempt to kill their mortar crew? It might not be a super good use of our time. That mortar crew dying will definitely make auto-resolves against this army a lot better, though. Yeah, we should probably manual this and try to do some damage. Tactical manual resolution. It's a little bit like a tactical auto-resolve, it's just the opposite. Because the auto-resolver will never kill, in a situation like this, the auto-resolver would never kill their siege unit, but we can really harm this army's ability to mess with us by taking out their siege unit. We might even get them to play a little bit more defensively, a little bit less aggressively, so we're going to pull way the hell back. Just try to lure them away from the mortar. And in fact, as soon as the battle starts, let's go... You guys are going to be one group, and everybody else just spread out real thin to limit the amount of damage the mortar does. This is valuable because we can slow down the speed of our loss here. What direction do I want to take the fast-moving troops? You know what, actually, maybe we make these two different groups. And I've basically done this strategy before. You guys know what this is. My hope is that we can draw the enemy forward enough while their mortar crew stays back at maximum mortar range to make things a little bit awkward for them in terms of defense. Now remember, these units are sneaky. They will remain hidden even though they're not in hideable terrain until they are within a certain distance of the enemy. So the enemy should not respond to their positioning right now. There's a non-zero chance that we will be able to get them to do some actual damage to a unit of enemy rifles or something. But let's not count on it. I sort of want to just drop them right now. Let's put up the first summon right now. I'm kind of curious if we can get some results here. Attack. Okay, well, we caused a little bit of friendly fire there. We actually got them to cast Burning Skull on their own mortar crew, which is kind of that's probably more damage than we were going to do with that summon, even in optimal circumstances. Okay, one of our units of Gutter Runners just got revealed here because we got too close to the enemies. I'm curious how they will handle that. Okay, we're hidden again. Trying to get around the backside here without being too obvious about it. Because again, we want them to move away from the mortar crews. Okay, their lord has run up by himself in a way that I was very much not expecting. I wonder if we can envelop him, surround him with spears, and actually do some damage to him. Alright, I'm gonna try to wrap him up in spear units here. Don't get me wrong, he's a better fighter than we are, for sure. But we still might actually be able to get some meaningful damage in here. Let's see if we can pull the swords out and have it just be the spears. You guys got revealed. These guys over here are back in hidden mode, though. They will re-stealth if they get far enough away from enemies. Alright, and then over here we have some stuff going on. Poison Wind Globadiers, in theory, are good against large, which is why I sent them in to do this, but it seems like they're doing a lot of friendly fire damage, mostly. We might be able to get some meaningful damage dealt over here. Alright. They've separated enough that I wonder if we can make this work. You guys spread out a little bit. In fact, I'm gonna summon enemies here. This unit of handgunners might just have really overcommitted. We're gonna do our best to accomplish something on the rest of these enemies. Hows? We didn't really do any meaningful damage there. Okay, not a huge surprise. So that unit of handgunners has taken damage. See, the big problem with the way damage is dealt by the auto-resolver is that it tends to be... it tends to be very distributed. The auto-resolver would not have killed a single unit from this army, but we have a non-zero chance of being able to kill, like, a couple, maybe? And if we're going to, why would you cast that there? The wizard seems very confused. If you're looking at a situation like this, where we are probably going to have to fight this army several times with our various settlement garrisons, we can do some significant damage via attrition over the course of several battles. I'm trying to summon. We're close. We're so close to killing these guys. Just do your best. Stay in there and do your best. Alright, let's try to make sure those guys actually die. It looks like we might have this mortar crew. There's very little total health on that unit. We put just enough body into them to make it really awkward for the enemies to run us off quickly. Guys, back off around. Are those my guys? No, that's their guys. Permanently broken and fleeing the battlefield still does not necessarily mean that they are dead. Remember, we've seen units, our own and other people's, survive in situations like that. Is anybody willing to take an order? Okay, well, you're not even going to be able to do that because you're going to get hit by those guys. Just back up. Oh no, they're recovering. Okay, I thought they hit recovery right as they left the battlefield there. Meaning that they did not, in fact, hit recovery, but we're cool. Everything's fine. Alright, I'm going to try to make sure that we actually kill this last guy. I'm fairly sure that the unit is actually guaranteed to die if we kill every single figure in it during the battle. Like, 90% certain. Is there any place else that we could apply? And we could throw some dudes down here. They're just going to get immediately mobbed by those great swords. But that might be the place... Yeah. Sadly, I think this is the place where we will get the largest amount of benefit out of a summon at the moment. Alright, guys, do your best. Just chop them up quick. You know, they're trying. Unfortunately, it looks like these guys are carrying, like, short swords. Yeah. And the summoned units are not super powerful. Okay. We properly killed the siege crew. So that mortar is dead. We may well have also killed a unit of handgunners. Certainly a lot better result than we were going to get by doing this auto-resolve wise. Is there any place else that we could reasonably get a kill? Probably not. I'm gonna try to have all these units form up over here, and we're gonna see if we can pick off a unit of gunners from the side somewhere. But my guess is that we're done. We have gotten the benefit we are going to get out of this, because unfortunately they're being a little bit too cautious with their ranged units, and random summoned clan rats are not going to be able to defeat any actual melee unit in combat. The random summoned clan rats in armies that have buffs to clan rats, or just like any kind of buffs really to units, may be able to perform well enough to kill a unit of like Empire Swordsmen, but these guys in a random garrison are not going to be able to. Alright, everybody work together, just do the damage you can do. Yeah, that's... okay. That was not too bad. If we actually removed 2 units from their army, that's a pretty good result. I'm a little concerned that that unit of handgunners got away with a lot of guys. Yeah, that probably survived. That's a shame, because they're gonna get full proper replenishment inside of a friendly settlement here. So any unit that we don't fully kill is effectively undamaged. I think is probably the best way to think about this kind of battle, where an enemy army is pushing through your territory and taking settlements. They're going to get all of the replenishment every single turn. So any unit you don't fully remove, you didn't do any damage to. Also, yeah, man, they really do just get a ton of... because this has to be a new army, right? We had the Border Princes down to very few troops. So they really do just get a ton of free XP every single turn. This is probably the first battle that army's ever fought. And yeah, the handgunners did survive. That's a shame. Oh, they burned Wissenberg to the ground. That's interesting. Why not settle it? Well, I apologize, but we gotta do that thing again. We need to kill the mortar crews. Another way this helps is that it means that these armies no longer have the siege attacker trait, because they no longer have any units that have siege attacker, which means even in a situation where they have a massive numerical advantage, they can't attack a walled settlement on the turn they roll up to it. They have to build a ram first. So we are buying ourselves, like, time at Nuln, potentially, although Nuln might be destroyed by a rebel army. We'll see. I guess these guys have Vanguard deployment. I could just start them way out here. Alright, and we're not gonna try to fight this one nearly as much. Not gonna put nearly as much effort into this. We'll let them go ahead and commit. It looks very, very unlikely that we will have any... that's incredible mortar fire. Very unlikely we'll have any chance of killing anything that isn't the mortar crew, so we may as well just get that one goal accomplished and then bail here. We could maybe make this thing happen again. We'll see if this actually results in a kill. It looks like it's, you know, that's damage. That's something. Okay, and their army separated from the mortar crew enough that it's unlikely that anybody's going to get back here in time to play defense. Let's see these guys get actually wiped out. Okay, that seems pretty good. Who knows, maybe we'll get these guys too. Maybe. That seems less likely. So I think what we're probably going to see happen here is the same thing as last time, where they get off the map with enough bodies that they survive. Try to spread out a little bit. Make them have to at least pick a direction to fire in. You guys don't engage in melee combat if you don't absolutely have to. Gotta make sure we have a real angle here. Okay, I mean, we're getting some damage done. The main part of the army is not even worth interacting with, to be honest with you. Don't let him escape. Stick with him. The problem is, these units can attack while moving, but if you haven't given them an explicit attack order, you don't get to control who they are attacking. Okay, this has gone better. You know, to be perfectly honest with you, we might be able to take this unit out. Yeah, slings are not very good against troops that have any armor at all, but normal spearmen only have like 30 armor, so with enough slings, you get some damage done. Alright, if the great swords want to go at the clan rats, that works out really well for us, because it means we get to just keep attacking the spears here instead of having to move. So, like, the problem here is if I tell these units to move, which we now really need to, they are going to naturally choose to attack whoever they feel they ought to attack, which means a lot of slings going into the greatswords, and greatswords have 100 armor and will not be damaged by slings at all. Okay, we maybe took like 3 units out of that army. Maybe these guys are going. That's not too bad. Again, if we just hit the auto-resolve button there, we would have dealt effectively no damage at all. And that's not even any unit that you don't kill isn't harmed thing. That's like, it would have done like, we would have gotten maybe 10 total kills. The auto-resolver does not give overpowered armies much of a chance. Okay, yeah, those guys actually did get wiped out. That was a really good result, actually. A really good result that we were able to achieve very quickly. I don't usually play battles at 4x speed like that, but maybe I should. Alright, Veshnar, what's up? He wants a military alliance. Not ever. Your death will be slow and painful, my friend. It's like, come on, we're still buddies here. I just don't want you declaring war on anybody on my behalf. A warlord thought to be loyal, honest, sends whispers of discontent. This reeks of a plot. Well, we could spread counter-rumors, or we could summon him directly. No, we spread counter-rumors, right? We could actually really use a public order buff, and also I don't want to spend 1,000 gold right now. Okay. The Doomtide, another wave rolls forward from the Chaos Wastes, can be very annoying to deal with. Okay. Wow, seriously, did I just gain 4, where's that? Followers gained. Are they considered to be equipment? Yes, they are. 3 breeders and a bell polisher. Another Eshin apprentice. Okay, Biofitch Stab and Vomik are getting good at fighting wood elves. Man. Sure are an awful lot of notifications coming through here. Okay, this is Vomik's last skill point. It goes into Blastmaster. He is a pretty powerful lord. So, as you can see, we sustained a really huge amount of attrition damage. Like, really, really huge. I'm gonna go drop a plague over here. And then I think these 2 armies actually have to just chill for a turn. If I put you in... Okay. You'll replenish to full here. I'm gonna put Biofitch in the actual settlement, because he'll get a little bit more replenishment that way than he would sitting in encampment mode. But I think we have to do that for a turn. Don't think we really have a choice. If we tax this... Okay, I'll take the extra public order. I think we do definitely want to expand that settlement. Okay, there we go. And look at that. He found himself a pet wolf rat. What'd I tell you?
Do not take me for a fool.
Alright, that army looks very killable. Oh, you're kidding. He can't actually make it? Well, what we can do is we can have the garrison of Grünberg ride out and attack Karl Franz with Morlock as backup, but my guess is that Karl Franz will just retreat from that, and I bet that the garrison doesn't have the ability to cause an ambush on attack, because that comes from this stance. The garrison army does not have a stance, I believe. I don't really want them to run. I want to kill them. Alright, how about this? We could move to here and go into ambush mode. Ambush success chance in open terrain like this is not... The base ambush success chance is not great, and I'm a little worried about the ambush failing, him being revealed, and him getting attacked by... wow. Okay, I was going to say him getting attacked by these massive groups of Stirland troops, but actually these are terrible units. Like, really bad. And normal archers are not going to be able to fight an army full of storm vermin. Hell, even Ratling guns are pretty heavily armored. Man, Morlock, your army's expensive, but, like, very good. What a good, strong army we have built here. Alright, I'm gonna try it. We're gonna move close. Let's move to, like, here. I'm trying to put myself in a position where if I retreat, I'll be moving out of their movement range. We'll move to here. We'll go in ambush mode. Hopefully Karl Franz won't do anything this turn. He might attack Grünberg. If he does, he probably loses. Grünberg's garrison contains... Okay, so 5 ranged units... Oh, 7 ranged units that can be put on the walls. A catapult. Rat ogres, which are terrible. But also a warlock engineer. And Altdorf's garrison has death runners in it. But weirdly, no siege crew. Rat ogres and storm vermin and stuff. No catapults at all. Huh. Oh, this building doesn't contribute a catapult until you get it to tier 4. Okay, well that's gotta be something of a priority, but man, we don't have money right now. Okay, Remamute can hit Zarakzil this turn. Nope. Looked like we could because of March mode. Zarakzil's a free kill, it's just... gotta wait a little while. And we may as well move around in ambush mode. I really want Obside to do stuff, but we're so close to not being able to pay our troops this turn that I kind of think we have to be real careful here. What about Ikit Claw? Ikit Claw's army hasn't done anything yet. I was going to have him recruit catapults. Which we could do if we can just, make some money some other way. What is the cost of recruiting catapults? Can we see that in this window? Catapults would be 700 each. So we could turn taxation back on in a couple of places and get ourselves to a positive gold value. Yeah, alright. I think we need the catapults pretty badly. So let's move you over here into friendly territory, because these Skaven slaves are not going to be the thing. And the local recruitment slots here are no longer in use. Oh, he does have a slight recruitment cost bonus. Alright, let's go turn taxation on somewhere that it will matter. Boron is probably not the place. It's right on the edge of a very serious rebellion. That solves the problem. And it's actually, like, public order's okay here. Where else can we afford to turn it back on? Carrick Norn is... How much does it produce? Only 900? Talsin is considerably less. Obviously, we don't turn that back on. Right, can't use the mouse wheel to scroll here because it scrolls forever. Paravon is producing nothing. Yeah, we'll turn it back on for a little while in the southern Grey Mountains, I guess. We need the cash badly enough. And then Obside actually isn't going to be able to do anything, right? Oh, that's only 282. Fairly likely to fail. 12% chance to get wounded. How about the garrison over here? There we go. We just need to keep generating XP. Okay, next level, I believe we'll be able to cap out... Yep, next level we'll be able to cap Assassinate. So for right now, assault units, I guess. Alright, there's a damaged building in Dotternbach. I mean, that doesn't matter. In fact, I'm going to demolish this. If they don't take Dotternbach next turn, we get a little bit of money off of that. Nuln is still under siege. What's Nuln's garrison look like? It's bad. Okay, this army could legitimately beat us. We may end up losing Nuln to a rebel force. Kind of depends on what goes on right here. It might be the case that Morlock is free to come down here and beat those guys. And if that does happen, it's not impossible that we could actually hold on to Nuln. Ooh, and then we have food and stuff. Doom rockets are on cooldown for 2 more turns. So, like, do we think that we'll be able to build a Doom rocket soon? Because we could instead just take another one of these boosts trying to get to the Black Hole Flayers, which obviously would be very nice to have. What would be the upgrade we would take? Winds of Magic cost down for Scorch? Seems bad. Well, we could take micro-reactors and take a Doomflayer mount on some wizard character at some point, because Overload seems good. Miscast chance down for everybody in a Doomflayer is also good, I guess. I don't think Scorch is a very good spell. We probably would not use it, even with that buff. But a lot of the rest of these look pretty bad. I'm going to go ahead and take this. And that gives us access to a pretty weird piece of armor. So that would... I'm assuming that like the other stuff, that's only usable on engineer type characters. Yeah. Well, we should probably give you something. Sure, a shield of distraction. That makes sense. And then poison attacks can turn a unit that is, generally speaking, not good at combat into one where him hitting an enemy unit in the back is at least useful in some way. Affects allies in range, but cannot use if engaged in melee. The Rival Hide Talisman. Wow, minus 40 melee attack for 30 seconds is a pretty big debuff. I think I might just take Ward Save on him, though. Like, he's going to have to be combat adjacent to really do his stuff, and he is not really a fighter. So let's make him at least potentially able to survive a little bit of combat. And then also, a Wand of Jet is not terrible on you, probably. Yeah, we've had some good luck with a Wand of Jet. Get an Alchemist for your army, and also one of these, because we're going to be fighting an awful lot of man-things. You also need to have stuff equipped. But are we out of good followers? Yeah, kinda. I bet the benefit of the Man-Thing slave does not stack. I bet having 2 in the army isn't actually better than having 1. But also, we don't really have anything better for this slot. Leadership up when fighting dwarves doesn't feel great. This would be good on units of gunners. And you could just have, I guess, some armor of silvered steel. Do I want to give you poison as well? Brass Cleaver increases the melee attack of allies in range by a pretty significant amount. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, a Potion of Strength might be good on you. Honestly, regen. Like, the ability to heal yourself and become tough. Okay, he's ready for battle. I really should have done that stuff earlier. Made sure he was equipped. Okay, I think we're done for the turn. I think we got everybody... Yeah, because you guys need to just hang out and heal. Hestelix's back in 2 turns. Yeah, I think we've done everything we can usefully do here, but man, it feels bad. It feels like we are in grave danger. Let's hope that these armies catch the plague. If these Wood Elf armies catch the plague, we are probably in a pretty good place to put a lot of pressure on Athelloren in general. Now remember, clearing Athelloren doesn't actually kill the Wood Elf player, but all of his settlements outside of Athelloren are these tiny little 5-unit garrison, no-income outpost settlements. So he will be broken in a way he will have trouble recovering from. It's not like Couronne, where we... Okay, he just wants to do this, huh? Well, I think we commit Maximum Menace below charges and just try to beat him. Keep in mind, because we have defensive structures here, we have access to the Warp Bomb, which is the thing we have not had a lot of opportunity to use. But sacrifice a weak unit to destroy your foes can be pretty handy in conjunction with summoned clan rats. So how long has he been sieging this city for? Like 3-4 turns? He probably has multiple siege... He probably has like 4 siege towers, is my guess. He's gonna be able to mount the walls pretty easily. His troops are better than our troops in straight melee combat, but they're also horribly wounded. There's actually a pretty small number of total bodies that he's bringing to the battle here. I think he's going to lose this fight. I don't think this was a smart attack. 23's fine. So let's see. He has a ram on this side, 2 siege towers on this side. So that could be 3 turns worth of construction. That makes sense. Worth noting that Karl Franz himself is mounted on a flying unit, so he's going to be able to do whatever he wants to us, unfortunately. Not totally ideal. I would like the catapults to be able to shoot early, but also... Oh, they'll be able to shoot almost immediately. There's the concern of firing angle. You don't want to move a catapult too far up, because then you start to have problems with being able to hit enemies as they come closer to the wall. So I think it's fine to leave him where he is. Rat Ogre's down here. We need our best melee combat units up here. And I'm assuming he's putting in... Oh, he's doing greatswords and halberds rather than 2 units of greatswords. I guess maybe he had 2 units of greatswords, didn't he? Oh, one of them's bringing the ram. Okay, I think that's wrong, but whatever. He does have flagellants as well. Worth noting, flagellants not wearing any armor. Pretty easy to kill, but also very high damage output. So, not a lot of sense in having slingers over here because there's nothing over here that they can damage. What are the stats on Karl Franz? He's going to be the hardest part of this. He has 100 armor, 73 attack with 65 defense. He's going to be really tough to kill. Like, to the point where if they win this battle, it's going to be because Karl Franz was able to kill our entire army. And there's a seriously non-zero chance that that's going to happen. I wasn't really thinking about how much of a problem he was going to give us.
Yes, yes.
Also, I don't like the way that the default assignment of your troops leaves a bunch of the towers uncovered. Like, there's no good reason for them to have set things up that way. Alright, these guys will be here to fight the troops as they come out of the towers. We have another unit of melee clan rats over here. I suppose we really ought to put the slingers on the front of the wall. We can rearrange things when the towers dock. Actually, this is probably pretty much right. Warlock Engineer ought to be closer to the front, obviously. And we can't leave the catapults unguarded because Karl Franz, but... Yeah, we can do this, though. In fact, I'm going to put these guys up on the wall because there's a decent chance that Karl Franz's strategy here is going to be to just land on the wall and kill everybody. And it will work. It's important to remember. I think that will be successful. Okay. Let's do it. This would be a really good battle to win. Does he have Overcast? No, we do not have the ability to Overcast this. Oh, right, sorry. I should manually target the towers. To be perfectly honest with you, the towers over here should probably just shoot at Karl Franz as long as they can. He's going to advance quickly. We're not going to get the opportunity to do a ton of damage to him. But it sure would be great if he was dead. Over here, we should shoot at the rocket batteries. Let's try to burn these down quickly, because those things are going to get a lot of good damage on us. Here, there's probably no sense in shooting at the siege towers. The odds that we're going to be able to bring them down are basically 0. So let's just try to do damage to units as they approach as best we can. The archers would be a good one. Over here, you don't get to shoot at anything, sadly. Okay. Yeah, the siege towers are one of the few things we have over here that are going to be able to deal any meaningful damage to Karl Franz, so if he's going to stand back there and just take that, we should enjoy it. They're not hitting him very much, but when they do hit him, they're dealing significant damage. Catapults do not have range on these guys, but that could change. Let's have our catapults roll up a little bit. We can make that work. And unfortunately, the towers are shooting. Our towers are shooting into the siege towers, not because they're even trying to, I think, but because the siege towers are in the way. Can't hit other stuff. Never mind, can't hit that. Okay, remember we have summonables, and we can detonate our summonables. The gutter runners don't have sling range to hit the archers. That's a shame. Well, I think this will be our first summon here then. This will distract their troops as they approach the wall. They won't be able to reinforce the way they would like to. All right, let's have you guys move in and do your best to chop those dudes up. This is gonna be tough for us. We're gonna have a hard time surviving this part. Karl Franz happy to just stand back and eat tower fire though, which is really, really good for us. These huntsmen do pretty good range damage, but do not have a lot of armor on. Alright, and do we warp bomb? Probably not yet. We probably want to save this. So what we do is we just put the warp bomb on these guys. You can only use it when they're under half health, but it'll detonate wherever it feels the center of the unit is, which is not always... doesn't always correspond with anything meaningful. Sometimes it's just like, well, this rat was the center of the unit, even if he's way out on his own. So you have to be a little bit careful with targeting. I think the next group of summons can go here. They've moved their units out enough. Sorry, there are ladders? What are they bringing up? It's halberds. You know, that's probably fine. The halberds, it will probably take them long enough to get through our guys there that it won't be too bad. We're not trying to destroy the ram with this. That's very unlikely to be successful. We're just trying to hit the great swords as they walk up behind the ram. And here comes Karl Franz to make everything worse. So we don't have any loose spears on this side, do we? No, I put the swords over here. Well, that's a shame. Karl Franz is going to do a lot of damage to us then. We could warp bomb in the middle of the cavalry. To be perfectly honest with you, it's not likely to do that much to them. Warp bomb is not super powerful. Let's have the catapults change to shooting at these guys. They're low-level catapults without any buffs. They're not getting enough damage through over here. We're just going to have to use the use summons. Now that they've marched their riflemen forward enough, I think there's a chance we can actually get some value out of this. Alright, get them. Okay, that should break up pretty quickly. Did... Oh, they punched a hole in the actual wall. You don't see that happen all that often. Totally viable strategy. I think... I've talked a little bit about how I think it's like completely it's just a horrible strategy to aim your siege weapons at towers. It's a terrible waste of ammunition. Using your siege weapons to punch a hole in the wall, on the other hand, I think is actually pretty decent a fair amount of the time. Alright, let's see. That'll be a real easy Warp Lightning shot when you get your cast back. Do we want to try to pull these spears over here to catch... Like, he's on a large mount. So that will help. I think I'm going to try to run the Rat Ogres away from him. I'm not sure if that's actually going to work. And maybe we have the spears. I really don't want to move the spears away from the catapult crew, because I know the second we do, he's going to turn and attack the catapult crew. It's by a large margin, the smartest thing he could do there. All right, you guys, make sure you are firing at the flagellants as best you can. I'll say this, one more successful assault from Arat would have been really nice. It's a shame that he failed as many times as he did. Which I guess was just one, but still a shame. Didn't you guys have orders? Oh, they had orders to attack Karl Franz, which were deleted as soon as he took off again, and they could no longer do it. Okay. Not necessarily opposed to the Rat Ogres fighting Karl Franz. They just need to not be on the front line of that. Okay, that looks like it's under control. They are probably going to charge through the gap here. Rat Ogres are basically just shock cavalry. Not a good idea to leave them in, and you can see they took so much damage upon being attacked, upon Karl Franz hitting any one of them at all, ever. So much immediate damage. Alright, let's talk about the next summon. We are probably at a place where it makes sense for us to use a warp bomb. Or at least to think about using a warp bomb. So the question is, where do we summon the units that we might warp bomb with? This is pretty bad. Those great swords are through, and they are going to win this fight pretty handily. You know what? Actually, maybe don't do that. Sorry. Can I undo? If you have multiple spells on a wizard, you can undo a cast by telling him to cast a different thing. If you don't have multiple spells, I don't know that you can cancel a cast, because obviously clicking on the button itself didn't do anything there. Is it worth... It is probably not worth summoning over here. There's not enough damage to do. I guess we could summon right here. Yeah, I'll do that. Summon right here, right on the backside of these guys. We'll cut up the Huntsmen real fast and then move through the Greatswords. Huntsmen are a little bit better at melee combat than a lot of archers, so it's not like... That's not going to be as great of a win as it might seem right away. Alright, Karl Franz is at least being held up. Make sure that units on this side are focusing on the flagellants as best they can. That's going to be our best effort to damage ratio. And the catapults might want to be retargeted. You know what? Honestly, it might be a good idea to have the catapults shoot at some of the incoming troops over here. No, we'll just have them fire at these guys. Please, sorry, just back up a little bit. Back up a little bit will be your plan. Alright. The war wagon rode in to try to distract us from killing those huntsmen. That's interesting. Don't see that kind of play a lot. We're actually doing really well over here. Okay, and that is not going to land on the wall. Yeah. We're holding out a lot better than I thought we would pretty much everywhere. Okay, next Clan Rat summon. What makes sense? Probably over here. It looks like this side is flagging a little bit. I did just kind of leave the Rat Ogres in after talking about how that's not a thing that you should do. So, you know, that's somewhat on me. You know what? I think we can afford to have people move forward now. Alright, we're having a tough time on the wall. So it looks like the clan rats over here did get killed. Wait, we don't really need... Okay, over here. Where exactly are the enemies? I guess a cast like right there is not too bad. Speaking of unleashing warp hell, looks to me like this might be an okay place for a warp bomb. Yeah, there you go. You guys should roll up and try to finish this off. We'll worry about the tiny group of rifles later. Okay. It's looking pretty good, and we're actually holding out against Karl Franz a lot better than I thought we would. Flagellants are almost down. Could you guys maybe go after Karl Franz? Because I think we have their ground troops pretty well under control over here. We just need to keep the damage coming in on this guy. As soon as those handgunners break to run, I'm sending these dudes over as reinforcements. Okay, permanently broken. You guys get on him. Yeah, we've totally done this. Warlock Engineer gets to carve up some of their engineers. I don't know, buddy. Go on. Engage. Indulge yourself a little bit. He'll catch up. It'll happen. I have faith in him. So over here, Karl Franz is on the run. Who's left? Why have they not surrendered? Oh, Flagellants. Flagellants never surrender. That's all right. They're gonna be dealt with the old-fashioned way pretty soon here. Is everything else permanently broken? Yeah, looks like the Flagellants are the only things that remain. I'm gonna turn off Fire at Will. Guys, you don't have to keep contributing. It's fine. Now, if an attacker loses in a siege battle, they are not automatically completely wiped out. So it is not the case that this army will cease to be, but he has taken some very significant damage. And obviously, this unit of Flagellants is going to cease to be. I think it was just that one guy that was left. Yeah, as you can see, a hero landing a couple of successful assault units actions can really make a big difference. So, survivors of the battle, Karl Franz, a couple of the great swords, that army is very shredded. Now, it is worth noting that garrisons do not completely replenish instantly, so our garrison is still in an injured state, and those armies from Stirland could decide to roll over and take advantage of that. Fortunately, we have another army in the area, and also their units are terrible. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't understand why the AI would attack here. And the balance of power bar... Sorry, let me clarify. The AI attacked because the balance of power bar told them they would win, but I don't understand why the balance of power bar thought that this was a battle they had any chance of winning. Because I don't... What would be the plan that would lead to victory in this circumstance? I think we're going to take the replenishment. Or do I want 1,500 gold? Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do this. We're going to take 1,500 gold and a casualty replenishment rate penalty on this garrison. You very rarely do that. Also, that was called a Pyrrhic victory. I'm not sure that I agree. It wasn't a clean victory, but Pyrrhic seems strong. Upside is learning, and Dwarf Army is incoming. Okay, Upside's going to have to chase those guys down. The dwarves are not at war with Aranessa, so she's not in any danger here. Got a critical failure from this dude attempting to assault the garrison at Kingsglade, not the army at Kingsglade. So even if that had worked, it wouldn't have meant anything, because they're not in position to attack that garrison. It would have just healed the full anyway. You know, the AI's decision-making is sometimes not based on reality. We lost vision of Vashnar some time ago, right? He just wandered off into Empire lands and has not been heard from. It doesn't seem like his army's been destroyed. Okay, yeah, the Northern Great Mountains is going to rebel. We had a feeling. So you're still recruiting. I mean, probably it's going to have to be Ikit Claw comes down here and attacks the rebel army at Blackstone Post, which is totally fine. It's out of our way, but it's not hugely out of our way. Here's a question. Do we want to have Morlock attack this rebel army, given that we know that we're going to be attacked in other ways soon?
Unworkable.
This guy's army is a little bit less scary. They do have a lot of horses, but we have storm vermin with halberds who are pretty good against horses. And they have a lot of low quality, low level spearmen as well. Wow, look at this.
I refuse.
No.
So a huge number of really garbage units and then just some empty armies. The AI does, I believe, have the same mechanics that we do in terms of like army upkeep. So them having 2 empty armies here is just like, why don't we throw away 4,000 or 5,000 gold per turn for absolutely no benefit? Tough to tough to imagine why they're doing that. Oh hey, I just realized we're over an hour into the episode. Maybe let's not play this turn. I think this is probably an okay place to call it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. It's probably too much to say that things are turning around, but we've had a couple of turns here that are giving me some hope. Come back next time tomorrow to see if we can turn that hope into anything other than crushing disappointment. And we'll see you then.